What's up, y'all? It's your girl Buha Africana coming to you all with a tarot reading. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel because this is going to be part one of the Nickelodeon Quiet on the Set drama. Now, a lot of this shit been going on for years. I don't know why this year happens to be the year of exposure, but a lot of these kids have been talking about this shit for a long time. But what we're going to do is go ahead and get off into the cards with the High Priestess card showing up, and all of these cards were in reverse except for the Five of Wands. Keep that in mind. Meaning that there's a lot of manipulation and a lot of spell work going on. It might be just mind games or mind work that these people are doing, but they really don't want y'all to see what has happened on the set, the Nickelodeon set with these children. You see, they give us all this fun and game shit, give us the slime time, and they've even gone over into making the channel more African American friendly. They've started showing more black shows, and they've started showcasing more black children who are artists. Two of my favorites are what's the little guy's name? Dylan, and the little girl Lele. I think for sure that they're trying to turn her into the new Tiffany Haddish, but we'll keep an eye on that and we'll go forward on that. But anyway, with the magician card showing up with the eight of wands, excuse me, and the five of wands showing up, do not be swayed by the things that these upper heads are telling you. They are very much so lying. You see, there were things that happened to those children that nobody until now wanted to speak on. Nobody took it seriously. Nobody listened to these kids. And I guess people saw them as just kids looking for an opportunity. And the fact that Sherry and Mickey Redstone, I believe, were pedophiles, and we'll talk about them when their card comes up. They sought out another pedophile, Dan Schneider, to do these things to these children. Not only was sexual things going on, but there was all kinds of abuse. They were talking to the kids crazy, making racist statements, making sexist statements, making statements that were not gay friendly, doing things to these children, exposing them to bullshit just for an opportunity. That's that Nine of Cups and that Page of Pentacles energy. They knew that these kids were hungry. They knew that they not necessarily were poor children, because I don't think that's what they target. They may target the middle class. And they go after the children who are looking to start out in Hollywood. The kids who are innocently enough going into these situations thinking that this is going to be something great for me. I'll be able to look back when I'm older and see my accomplishments. But these children, these children who are now grown, they're looking back at their accomplishments like, what the hell was it worth? And that's where the Ace of Swords began, the beginning of this conflict, beginning of drama between the Nickelodeon execs, excuse me, and the people that they've hurt. They're only going to, of course, put things out there that they want us to see. I honestly believe that they are going to try to spin this into, or these issues that these people are having. They're going to try to spin it into some way to profit. There is profit present, not necessarily in these five cards, but later on in the spread. The execs are going to try to get you all to see their side of things. And they're also going to reach out to those victims who have not spoken up, and they're going to pad them. They're going to make sure that they give them what they need to keep them quiet, to keep them tied to them, tied to Nickelodeon, to keep their secrets hidden, if you will, with the Eight of Swords being present. The Seven of Swords tells it all there. They're definitely going to lie to them, or they have been lying to them to keep them tied to these contracts. Maybe with the Two of Wands showing up, they're also going to them like, hey, if you do this, we'll make sure that we do that for you. Or if you don't do this, or if you speak up, we'll remove certain things from you, which is why the Two of Pentacles is in reverse. Let me explain that. From my interpretation and from this deck, The Two of Pentacles being in reverse speaks also of a bad contract. A lot of these people and these children are enveloped in a very bad contract, and they're tied to them because they have no other alternative, because they've also done things or allowed things to happen that they don't quite understand. That's why they kicked I can't think of the little boy's name, but in part two I'll have his name because I'm going to speak of him. That's why they kicked his dad off set. And although his dad was weak as wet fucking tissue paper, because if you kick me off the set, my child coming with me. But at least his dad was speaking up. Because definitely there were things going on inappropriate around the children. The devil card, the lovers in reverse, and the sun card representing children. There were definite inappropriate relationships going on. They may have been providing them with drugs. Of course, they were sexually exposing them to things that they were not supposed to be exposed to by adults. I know that there are those of you who try to make the argument, oh, they weren't innocent themselves. And see, you're an asshole for going at a kid like that. That's a child. It doesn't matter what the child was doing. You, as the adult, should know better. That's why you have so many of these stars that are alcoholics, drug addicts, wildly promiscuous, because they've been exposed to this shit. So the inappropriateness is there within the lover's card. And the evil of the adults is present in the devil card, because you knew that these children shouldn't be doing these things, but you were hoping that they stayed quiet, as most predators do. Like I said, I would speak on the Redstones, who show up in the deck as the King and Queen of Wands. They are the heads of the network. They own the network. See, these two pedophiles needed to go get another pedophile who operated only within his ego, if you will, with the King of Swords showing up. That is Dan Schneider. Dan Schneider is the one that was on the shows making the kids do shit with their feet. And I haven't really been into Nickelodeon. I was grown by the time it really, really got big. Or not grown, but I was a up in age teenager. So I don't know of many of the shows, but I noticed that people mention this show called Pickle Boy, or this skit called Pickle Boy, that really, really bothered a lot of these children. Or the whatever show it was that Ariana Grande was on, and she's sucking on feet, making noises and moaning, like making sexual noises. These children are explaining in this documentary how uncomfortable they felt. But do you think these three pedophiles gave a damn? No. Who am I talking about? Sherry and Mickey Redstone and Dan Schneider. These are the three devils. You see these people here in that devil card? These are who it represents. Sherry and Dan are at the bottom in the devil card, but that is definitely Mickey Redstone up top. That man looks evil and ornery and perverse in the face. He's dead now, of course. But the man was so ornery, he refused to die. He died when he was 97 years old. But anyway, back to our reading. You see, the three of them targeted young children. It did not matter, boy or girl. With the Page of Cups, that represents the young children that these perverse people sought after. And now I'm going to say allegedly, before I go into this, the Three of Cups with Dan Schneider. Because at the time, I'm sure he was married. I'm sure at the time he had a family. I'm sure at the time he was much older than Ariana Grande. But because she has become the highest paid Nickelodeon star, because she has become the one that's out front, you better believe the rumors, or if you've never heard the rumors, there's these alleged rumors that she was the one that was screwing Dan Schneider so that she could get to be who she was. I mean, he offered her all kinds of opportunities. Hell, he probably was doing all kinds of shit with this little skinny woman while she was a child. See, now she's aged out of the bracket for him. But that's also why they kept her really tiny and petite, so she could look like a little girl. This is Dan Schneider's doing. I'm not saying that she wanted to gain weight or anything, but as a woman gets older, her body changes. They needed Ariana Grande to continue to look like a child so that his pedophilic interest could be filled. So the fact that you all are hearing about children being molested and being touched on, that's not a surprise. Just look at Ariana Grande. Look at the sadness in her eyes. Look at how she doesn't necessarily seem to connect with people. That's because she's been abused. And here she is again with the lovers, the devil card, the king of swords. She was being abused by this man. Dan Schneider, he abused his power. He abused who he was so that he could make her his own personal little sex toy. And I know that may be a bit hard for y'all to hear, but it's clear this girl has been sexually manipulated and passed around. That's why she's showing up as the Queen of Pentacles. That's why she's the Queen of Nickelodeon. That's why she's the highest paid star on Nickelodeon. She used whatever feminine wiles she thought she had as a child to make herself available to a pedophile. And it has profited her. Mr. Schneider didn't care that this was somebody's daughter. He didn't care that this was somebody's son he was walking on. And he never will care. And in part two, I'll get into why I am standing in that stance, because although things are being revealed about these people, there's a lot that's going to go unsaid and a lot that's going to go unchecked. But stay tuned for part two so that we can discuss not only Ariana Grande and Dan Schneider, but we're going to introduce Naya Rivera's reading as well.